Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech, and I am about to embark on a journey that I have not done in many years. Now, I used to build my own PCs back in the day, and by back in the day, I'm talking about like in 1998 to 2002. Like during those years, I was building PCs for myself and for other people, and with the monies that I had at that time, I was building decent PCs for myself. But then I stepped into the world of Mac and Apple computers and have spent since then on Mac computers. But over the last couple of years, I just feel that though Apple has some nice hardware and their computers are good, they just don't have the performance that I'm looking for as a professional. I edit video and photos a lot. I spend a lot of time in Lightroom and Adobe Premiere, and those applications are CPU, GPU, RAM. I mean, they're intense across the board. Like, it doesn't matter what Mac you go and buy, you're gonna have a hard time unless you buy maybe a higher end Mac Pro. And I just don't feel like spending that kind of money on a Mac Pro, especially considering at the time that I'm filming this, Apple has not updated the Mac Pro in 3.5-ish years. Maybe it's even a little bit more by now. I can't justify spending that kind of money on something that's outdated. Now, earlier this year, I spent some time on Windows machines. I actually sold my MacBook Pro and spent about 2 months on Windows and really enjoyed my time on Windows. From a mobile computing, like with a laptop, my MacBook Pro still just performed a bit better, or, well, pretty much equivalent to the latest PCs that I could purchase as far as laptops go. So with all that said, Apple hasn't made any new announcements lately, and I'm just not thrilled with what's available, so I want to build a custom PC, and that's what you see here. I've got a case, I've got a motherboard, processor, everything that I need, the GTX 1080, everything that I need, and I feel new at this again. I mean, I have experience building PCs. It's just been a lot of years since I've built PCs, so I'm excited to start on this, and I hope that you continue watching through this video as we build this PC together and test it. And then, of course, we're going to do a lot of talking about how this particular build works with rendering out video, with processing large amounts of images in Lightroom. Like, those are the important things for me, and so I hope that if that's interesting to you, that you take a look at what we've got going on here. Now, I decided to go with the GTX 1080 because this is one of the best for the price that's out right now. This GPU has a lot of memory and a lot of processing power, and when you're rendering out video, you need that. Now, I also am going with a fairly powerful, but maybe not as powerful as I wanted to go with on the CPU. Now, the CPU, obviously, those get really expensive, and so I wanted to place myself somewhere between underperformance and overperformance, obviously, but somewhere good price, where there's good performance for the price, and so I think I landed on something good there. I know that I'm going to be taxing my system when I'm rendering out videos, so I thought to go with a better cooling system, and I may in the future go with dual GPUs, and so I wanted to make sure I had enough power in my power supply for expandability. Now, because of all of this, I have to go with a pretty large case. This isn't as big as cases get, but this is pretty large. I have not had a computer of this size since my Mac Pro, which the last Mac Pro I had was when Apple came out with their first Intel-based Mac Pro. So that's a lot of years ago. That's a little bit over 10 years ago now, or about 10 years ago. So with that said, we're going to dive into this. I'm going to show you some footage just as we build this out. I invite you also to visit stateoftech.net, where I have all of the information about this build, and I'm going to continue to put information into that post until this build is finished and we've tested it, and I have good reports for you guys, or whatever those reports may be. In the description of this video is an entire parts list, as well as over on stateoftech.net. So the first link you're going to see is the link to my post on State of Tech about this build. maybe a little bit of backstory, and any other videos that we put together as part of this build, including high resolution photos and all that good stuff, and the parts list, so don't forget that. All of this stuff I purchased off of Amazon and was able to get great financing through Amazon, and it was just, the price was right on everything. Everything got here super fast. I literally ordered all of this stuff 2 days ago, so Amazon Prime, and let's get started.